Hello and welcome to this week's See You Next Thursday. Unfortunately, we have to make do without the ages-old wisdom of Ed25 today, as Billy can't make it. Instead, you're stuck with just me, Ed001, and the inimitable Ed68, who was born a grumpy old man and just continued to get grumpier. Though his grumpiness has been lessened a bit by Steve McClaren leaving Man United to take up a role as Jamaica's head coach. Not because he has any particular dislike of Steve McClaren as a coach, but just because he's waiting for the interview when he does his accent. Because we all know that's coming up soon, isn't it? What do you think, Seamus?
It's definitely on the pipeline.
It's got to be the very first interview, actually, wasn't it, last time? When he did his Dutch one.
What was it, the very first one, or was it after winning the league with Twente?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. It might have been the first one after winning the league, mightn't it? You're right.
And for all the mocking he's received for that Dutch accent, he has an Eredivisie title to show for it.
Yeah, but like, I don't think the accent won it for him, mate. Well, maybe it did. Maybe that's what won the league for them. You never know, do you? Um.
Yeah, well, no.
Anyway, should we just we'll just quickly run through the transfers, shall we? First, um, Matt Diaz left Fulham to go to Northampton Town on loan. Obviously, just a youngster. Never heard of him myself, but there you go. Jesper Lindstrom has joined Everton on loan from Napoli. I don't know if you've seen much of him. Do you think of him?
I've seen a little bit of him when he was at Frankfurt, but
Think
that
he's a
was
good.
before he. But he's absolutely wasted a full year of his career, and not everyone recovers. I'm not saying he's not gonna be good, but
Yeah, that
he
can
was
be.
virtually like half the time he didn't even make the squad, let alone the team, like first 11.
Really? I don't. I really.
Yeah.
I can't really remember, to be honest. I don't remember seeing much of him. So, yeah. Um,
No,
Malang.
remember there was a time when he was linked with the Liverpool as a Firmino replacement slash backup or a backup for Salah.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I remember that. I remember having a look at him, but I wasn't that. Personally, I wasn't that impressed. I've got to say. But you know, I mean, I was thinking maybe over last. Well, it must be 2 years, wasn't it? And since then. Anyway, yeah. So I was just thinking maybe he might have improved, but then I haven't seen him since. So, next one, Malang Sarr left Chelsea to join RC Lens. That was a horrible move for him. That joining Chelsea really hasn't worked for him at all, has it?
Yeah, but the main question is, does what's his name? Pochettino know who he is?
No, he won't have a clue, will he? Let's be honest. There's 455 professionals on their books. I don't think he's got a clue. I don't think he was able to get to know even like a tenth of them, was he?
I know many won't know this. We'll have to explain this, but does he even know the name of all the keepers at the club?
we definitely,
Goalkeepers.
he definitely won't know the names of all the keepers. You do realise Pochettino's left now, though.
Yeah, I know, but still,
Yeah.
he was there last season.
Will
Most of them
Maresca,
were there last season.
Will Maresca have got to know any of the names of them? Because there's what 8 first-team keepers now. They've after who did they sign? Oh, well, I might as well jump ahead to that one.
The kid from Genk.
Philip Jorgensen, I was thinking of Villarreal keeper.
Ah,
They signed it. The other one
yes,
hasn't come
there's
to me.
like so many. Like my answer is correct. Your answer is correct.
Yeah, they.
Probably Leggy, if he's turned in, he's thought of someone else, and he would also be correct.
Yeah,
And there's no wrong answer.
they've now got a stack of third choice keepers and a bunch of children for the youth teams, but they've got no actual first choice keeper still.
No, 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 no.
So
They've got no actual second choice keeper, let alone first choice. Come
yeah,
on.
that's true. I wasn't even thinking of that. I mean, you need to have at least a first choice one. I mean, but they just haven't bought one. It's bizarre. How can you spend all that money and not fix the biggest problem at the club when you joined it? Because that was always the biggest problem.
The goalkeeping is the one position that requires continuity and also uh, sees a lot less rotation and definitely very, very, very little substitution, in-game substitutions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they made a lot of noise when they got hold of Gabriel Slolina. He is apparently highly rated, probably a very good prospect. Not everybody fulfills their potential, but that much we would agree. A lot of noise was made around
Mm.
him. He is considered to be one for the future. He was bought for a lot of money for a young guy. But why 18 months on you spent 20 odd million to bring in someone who is relatively the same age, maybe give or take a 1 year, 2 year age difference, and is just as far away from the first team football, first team squad as the young lady who signed 18 months ago.
Yeah. In other words, nowhere.
Now, I'd actually understand if they'd signed someone a bit more experienced because a lot of the keepers are 25 and under. If they'd signed someone like 30, 32 to just fill in for a year or two when
Mm.
the young guys develop, the club, the team as a whole is developing, and just to guide them along. But it just seems to be someone who is just so fascinated with Football Manager slash FIFA, whatever new computer game there is.
Yeah, I'm buying the Wunderkins.
Yeah, just like you see, from what you see, an exciting prospect showing great potential, has potential to be special, and you just want to get your hands on them. It just seems the same with Chelsea.
Mm.
And anyone with a working passport, this is get signed up.
As long as they're under the age of 23. Got to be
Yeah,
young.
exactly.
Yeah.
Preferably in their teens,
Oh, yeah, preferably.
and definitely not over 23.
Oh, yes. 23 is the absolute limit because otherwise they're past their best then, aren't they? They're finished. Hi, Kaz. Good to see you. Kai's here, by the way. Marek Rodek has left Fulham to join Al Ettifaq, and that's Steven Gerrard's club, isn't it? And now John Achterberg, here we work with, the goalkeeper coach, ex-Liverpool one. Did you see his comments during I showed you him, didn't I? His comments during the week about Messi. He said they asked him who's better, Ronaldo or Messi, and he was asked in an interview who was better, Ronaldo or Messi. He said, "Well, at one time I would have said Messi, but then when he played against us, like as in like Liverpool for Barcelona, he was such a diving cunt that I was gone off him. I just thought, oh, finally someone actually said it."
No, no. You cannot complain about Messi, can you?
Well, apparently you're not allowed to, but he did. He said it, and I just thought, well said, brilliant.
No, but even then, he had to at first reinforce the point that he's one heck of a player and everything. You
Oh
can't
yeah, you
even like
can't just
criticize him
yeah.
or like upfront. Come on, how mollycoddled and sensitive do you have to be?
These days, these
Got
footballers
my
are so
ass.
soft, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we should. That wasn't anything to do with Marek Rodek. Sorry, mate, Mr. Rodek. Sorry to have taken away your glory of being mentioned on this podcast because I know he was waiting for that moment. Tayo Adaramola has left Crystal Palace to join Stockport County on loan. Ryan Sessegnon gone back to Fulham on a free from Tottenham as well. Think his career, do you think he can recover? Because I can't see it. Can you? Oh, too many. I know he had injuries, but yeah, he's not impressed, has he?
Yeah, he's stagnated from where he was at 17.
Yeah, he just hasn't impressed at all, has he? Moved on, improved at all.
That's sad, but like I said, like not every exciting 17, 18-year-old goes on to be even half as good as you thought they were. Sadly,
Yeah,
just how it happens.
I mean, he's been a huge disappointment, really. I would say. Who next? Rafael Varane's joined Como from Man United. Hasn't Dennis Wise left there as well?
or didn't the club get into some uh, in one of the friendlies didn't one of the players and the club get accused of racial abuse?
I
Italian
don't
clubs,
know.
and yes, I'm not surprised, but
I don't know if that was Como. Well, yeah, it's common there, isn't it? So it wouldn't be a surprise. But Varane, I think that's. I'm surprised. I didn't think he was still up to top flight football personally, from what I've seen of him. But there you go. Uh, I wonder how many games he'll play for them. Probably the full season, because they'll have him on a big bonus for appearance. I bet. Brian Hill or Gill, whatever you want to call him. Tottenham Hotspurs joined Girona on loan. Obviously, he's probably the replacement for Savinho. I don't think he's much of a replacement, though, do you? He's a strange one. He just never actually shown anything, has he, really?
he only impressed well at loan from Sevilla at one of the lower clubs.
Mm.
In La Liga, but one of the lower clubs, and then got a move to Tottenham. He just it's wrong to like, dismiss someone just because of their build and size, but he just never looked ready to play in the Premier League.
No, he looks like a child, doesn't he? And he's really weak as well. It isn't just that he's like small. He's really weak and easily knocked off the ball, which isn't good in the Prem. Probably the big signing of the summer so far, because there hasn't been much happening, let's be honest. Riccardo Calafiori joining Arsenal from Bologna.
Yeah, everybody is saying he's gonna be the next left back for them, but either I've not seen him play or they've not seen him play, but he's not a left back. There's a difference between can play there and is a player for that position, no?
Yeah, but this is Arteta. You
Yeah,
know what I
but this
mean?
is come on.
Yeah, I know. Just because he's not a left back doesn't mean he won't play there. He's had Kai Havertz and
No, not Kai Havertz. No, no, it was Nagelsmann who put Kai Havertz
oh yeah,
there.
Nagelsmann. Oh yeah, shit, you're right. No, it was the right back, Timber. That's it. That's what I was thinking. I had him playing there. He won't care. He'll just put whoever he thinks will. I can see him ending up being an inverted fullback on the left side, to be honest, but in a similar way to the way City play it.
No, but they already have White who does that,
Yeah.
and for all the great things about Saliba and Gabriel, they're not as good as let's say John Stones to step in from centre back. They're good, but they're not that accomplished with the ball. Whereas Stones is basically a defensive midfielder who played centre back.
Yeah, he's not a very good centre back, but he is good on the ball.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, but we shall see how it all goes. For now, they're crushing the preseason games and tournaments, so obviously they've already won the league now.
Why they lost to Liverpool yesterday, mate? Or this morning, I suppose it would be.
No, but you must be aware, like everybody's heaping all praise on them for
Are they? I don't know.
winning a bunch of preseason games, and
All
everybody's
right.
like so concerned about Man City because they've not won.
Do people not realise it doesn't matter? I mean, every year we have this.
No, it
People
actually
panicking.
matters, Chris. It matters. The ones that do really well, like just in terms of result, the ones that do really well in preseason usually don't do well in the actual season.
Yeah, God, I've never known
It's
it.
actually it's actually the opposite thing. And I'm not wishing, well, I am, but I'm not saying Arsenal are gonna sit the bed, but it it literally doesn't mean anything.
No, it means absolutely sod all. It's just about getting fit. That's it.
And making some commercial money, and that's it.
Particularly money these days. Yeah. Anyway, next one: Ben Brereton Diaz, Villarreal to Southampton. I'm not convinced by him. Works hard and that, like, but just he's not
Yeah, but
exactly.
but he's joining a promoted team, so it's
Yeah, but
not gonna be that.
they need goals, and he doesn't really score enough for my liking. And they've signed Kuruyu Matsuki from FC Tokyo, and then immediately loaned him out to Gustepe. So he's only a youngster, but yeah.
I suppose Brereton Diaz would be a replacement for Shea Adams.
Well, he is a massive improvement on him. That Shea Adams is dogma. Let's be honest.
See how it goes on.
Yeah. Brent Christine, I think it's pronounced, has joined Norwich City from Villa. So, don't know much about him. He obviously didn't make it. That's Shola
Sorotiri.
Yeah, I'd been practicing that one for fucking days, and I still get it wrong. Ay, yeah, he's left Man United to join PAOK Salonika. It wasn't so long ago. He was one of your higher-rated youngsters. But
Yeah, he was.
bless him.
But like I've said, I'm almost sounding like a broken record, but a good 16, 17, 18-year-old doesn't mean they're gonna fulfill their potential.
No. Well, it's just a shame. It's always a shame when one leaves the club. When one of the better ones leaves the club and doesn't even go to like a another big clubbish thing. You know what I mean? It just feels like the potential's not being met. Unless they're deliberately choosing to step down in order to step
Get
up
some
again in
more
the
regular.
future. Yeah, get regular football for the future. But like, it just feels like with him, he's gone on a free. I think, if I remember rightly, just because
Yeah,
there's no interest. You know what I mean?
you don't want to move from one big club to another just to get farmed out on loan
Exactly.
and then get sold on a year or two onwards without actually playing for the club, anyways.
Unless you're signing for Chelsea, in which case you know that's what's going to happen when you
No,
join there.
I was actually talking about Omari Hutchinson's, anyways. Omari Hutchinson left Arsenal, joined Chelsea. 1 year out, 0 minutes for Chelsea, sold out.
Yeah, I still wait.
You could have just taken a step down into one of the lower Premier League sides or a top Championship side, anyways.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why they don't. Why would you? I just do not understand why a young player would want to join Chelsea at the moment, or any player. And if Leicester's no other option really, or they're offering huge money.
Which they apparently are not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Which
So, kind of like there just doesn't seem any reason to join them anymore.
we've just turned into a Chelsea bashing podcast, haven't we?
Yeah. Sorry, Chelsea. Not really, like, but
Nobody is sorry.
no, we don't care to be honest. Lewis O'Brien's left Nottingham Forest to Los Angeles FC. Another one. He was a strange signing. He never really got a chance there. Never seemed as bad as.
Nottingham Forest are just Chelsea that play in red. Signed lots of players,
Mm.
and then again signed lots of players to replace those players who actually didn't even get a look in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't give him a chance. Just sign a replacement anyway, just in case. There's some weird systems, recruitment setups going on. What else? Dean Hussein joined Bournemouth from Juventus, young defender. Supposed to be supposed to be very good. I've seen him a couple of times, but only because I'd heard his name being pronounced in a youth tournament. Playing for the youth team for Juventus. I think it was Juventus. Yeah, it must have been. And I thought when I heard Hussein, I thought it must be Glenn Hussein's kid. He used to play for Liverpool. I think Swedish defender, if I remember rightly. wasn't the best. But yeah, so I just thought he was his lad, so I looked out for him. So, but yeah, then I've seen it written down, and I'm like, oh, it's not even spelt slightly similarly. So definitely not his son, or related to him. I don't think in any way. Oh well. So wasting my time keeping an eye out. Jake O'Brien's left Lyon to join Everton. What the fucking hell are Everton getting all this money from? I mean, they're signing a lot of players, and it just makes no sense.
They must be selling someone.
Maybe Branthwaite's joining United after all, eh?
Maybe. We've
Mm,
left the league on limbo.
Man, they did already. They did sell the other defender, didn't they? The one who was playing right back, but is actually a centre back. And never
Uh,
came through
Godfrey.
them. Godfrey, that's it. Ben Godfrey, yeah. So it might just be a replacement for him, but it does seem like a ready-made replacement for Branthwaite. To be fair, that Jake O'Brien. What's next? Pascal Gross has left Brighton and Hove Albion to join his childhood club, Borussia Dortmund. Brighton are really gonna fucking miss him. Massively gonna miss him. Been their best player for years. Such a good player. Massively underrated in my opinion. One of the best players in the Premier League over the last few years, if you ask me.
I think like
Mental.
when we talk about underrated players, some players are underrated by the opposition or the fans. But I think he's truly an underrated player.
Yeah, he just goes under the radar, and yet he's always one of the best. Not just like on the eye as well. He's statistically, he's up among always up among the best as well, isn't he?
And especially if you're a team mid-table or lower team table, you sign him just for his set piece ability
Oh yeah,
and his work rate. You combine his work rate and set piece
uh,
ability, he's already a good player. And then he's also not too bad with the ball. Very, he's creative in the open play as well. Like it's not
yeah,
just set piece up nothing.
and his movement's really good.
And he's very versatile. Like
Hmm.
there's so many things going for him. I'm just surprised that nobody ever took a shot at him.
It was astonishing. I mean, from the moment he joined Brighton, he stood out like a sore thumb for me. He's been their best player since the moment he joined them, and how he's ended up and the only one that's wanted him was bought Borussia Dortmund. You know, I really every summer I always thought somebody's going to come in for him, but and I know he's a veteran now, like, but even so, he was there what 4 or 5 years, wasn't he? Oh, but somehow, just maybe it's because he's not quick. You know, he's not quick and powerful like. So he doesn't stand out in that respect. Jota Silva's joined Nottingham Forest from Vitória Guimarães. Don't know much about him, but yeah, don't really watch Portuguese football to be honest. But like, yeah, he's been sought after this summer, so looks like they might have got a bit of a player there apparently. But I have to wait and see on that one. And then the final transfer that I've got for this week is Connor Townsend's joined Ipswich Town from West Bromwich Albion. It's just a cheap fullback. They obviously needed to drop his 33 or something, 31, 33, something like that in his 30s anyway. So it's obviously just a cheap squad filler to bring a bit of experience and hopefully keep them up. They'll be thinking. Hopefully, from their point of view, I mean, not I'm saying hopefully they'll stay up because I'm really not sure I care one way or the other if Ipswich stay up, to be honest. Depends on what kind of football they play this season as to whether I want them to stay. But yeah, so the rest of the news, I mean, I think the first thing I think we're going to have to talk about quickly is Klopp basically retired from coaching last night. Or yesterday, I don't know whether it was last night when I saw it at the International Coaches Conference thing. He basically said he's not going to coach anymore, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. On the one hand, I'll be glad not to see him at Real Madrid with Trent Alexander-Arnold. But
You will.
on the other, it's such a sad loss to the game if he's retiring. He's still got so much to offer.
Yeah, but you will see him at Real Madrid.
Do you still think he'll go
Yeah,
there?
yeah, maybe he will come back to knock Liverpool out as with Trent as his marauding right back.
No, I don't see it happening.
No, it will happen. It will happen. Come on.
No, he won't. No, he wouldn't do that to us. And I don't think he'd want to join Real Madrid, to be honest. I hope he doesn't. I keep thinking he would. You know, when he announced his retirement, that was my big thought is it's bound to be because Real Madrid want him. And I know they were trying to persuade him. You just think, shit.
No, but come on, like after always being the underdog, surely even he's had enough of being the underdog and wants to try his hand out as an overdog. He has a personality to be the Real Madrid manager, that's for sure.
He's certainly big enough to do it, isn't he? He could, but I just can't see it. I can't see his wife being into. But he did move to fucking Spain. You know, he's retired to Spain. It just all still seems, but hopefully not. Hopefully he means it. 'Cause that would be the worst thing I can imagine is Klopp at Real Madrid. That would break my heart properly. Really would. What else has happened this week? Oh yeah, Manchester City being fined over £2 million for repeatedly delaying kick-offs over the last couple of seasons at the start of matches and after half-time without good reasons. Apparently they did it 8 times in the 2022-23 season and 14 times in the 23-24 season. One of the times, which for me is the one that's really, really, really bad, is the final day of the season when they, because that's when you're supposed to all play at the same time, and they didn't. They deliberately kicked off later. Now that to me is, is like, have a look and see what the others are doing, how they're going, so whether we have to try or not. Well, I don't know, because they might not have needed the result, but I can't remember whether they needed the result at the time. So
they needed to win. That was the thing. If they'd lost, then let's see, what's the name? Arsenal would have won, no?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. See, so I think it's, to me, they got the £2 million fine doesn't seem like any kind of punishment for that, because it is cheating. That's the whole reason why we kick off every game on the last day at the same time, is so that so no one can have a look at what other results are gone and just play for just stop playing if it's because obviously sometimes the team you're playing against also might need a particular result, and then they find out the team that like say they're just battling relegation. I'm trying to explain this for other people. I know you understand what I mean, but yeah, say they're battling relegation and they're if they lose, they could get relegated, but then they find out the team below them has lost and their game's already finished, so they don't need to, they don't need to bother trying anymore, so they can just sit down and basically not bother trying for the last 5 minutes if they've kicked off late. It's an unfair advantage, basically.
Yeah, but who's gonna reprimand them?
Well,
and don't say that 2-3 whatever odd million is.
It's just
reprimanding them now.
It's nothing, is it? And it's just basically it just tells you just how strong the punishment's going to be when they finally get round to punishing them for the 115 offences. Let's be honest.
No, it's not when. It's if.
If, yeah.
It's if they finally get round.
Yeah, You just can't see anything happening to them, can you? Maybe you just like tap on the wrist and a little fine to pay. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, hope not, but probably yes.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, what they've done is that. But how would they manage to get this one through so quickly? But they can't get the other through. Surely they're both under the same disciplinary
governance.
system.
No, it's biggest belief. It beats me, but
It's the same disciplinary system. How can it deal with one offence so quickly and the other not? Take so long. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the only other thing I've seen for the last week is Saudi Arabia's insane World Cup plans for 2034. Have you seen it?
I have not. Enlighten me.
Well, they put forward I think it's 11 stadiums to be built. Aren't even constructed yet. And they're going to have to build 11 stadiums for their bid, is what they're putting forward. But one of them's in that stupid neon line project thing. I don't know if you've ever seen any stories of that, but it's absolute fucking pie in the sky fantasy stuff. And they have to keep scaling it back already because it's lunacy and it's never going to happen. And basically, the stadium's going to be, according to their plans, is 350 meters above the ground, and you can only get there in public transport. Basically, you can't drive there or walk there. You have to go in these lifts or. Oh, it's just a nonsense. And you know full well that what's going to happen as well is it'll be like Qatar, and all the stadiums will end up just being gathering dust afterwards and resting away as well, don't you?
It's just gonna be like that. But I guess as a Nepalese citizen, I shouldn't complain much because that's the only way our country sustains, supplying for employment workers.
Really? Oh, you should have. You should be getting a lot more soon because a lot of countries are about to. I won't talk about this now. We can talk about that between us afterwards if we are to say yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yes, I suppose it is quite a big. There's a lot of Nepalese workers now abroad, isn't there? So. But
that's the backbone of our economy, whatever the fuck anyone says. Let's not get into this on the podcast because I'm not even ashamed to talk about it. It's just gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah, no, it's not. Is there any other football news then? Or is this just gonna be? Is this actually gonna be a quick pod for once?
Maybe. This little issue of the preseason has only just started and Man United are already getting so many injuries, long-term injuries. How?
Haaland and
You're out for 3 months. Haaland is out for 6 weeks. I read somewhere Xerxes is gonna miss a few games at the beginning of the season as well. I don't know why. It's already going pear-shaped before it's even started.
Yeah, that is a bit dodgy. But one of them was a fractured metatarsal, which is an impact injury. So that's just bad luck. I can't remember which one. I'm assuming that'll be Haaland because that's usually about.
No, it's Euro. It's Euro. Haaland did his hammy.
He's out for 3 months with a metatarsal.
I know. Yeah, it's a hairline fracture, is what I read.
Still, that's especially not for a young lad.
But have you watched any clips of the Arsenal Man United game? Any highlights? It was like I said it like a couple of weeks ago. You shouldn't be having these games. It becomes too ultra competitive for players that are just working their way into fitness.
No.
The tackles were flying in.
Yeah, these games are ridiculous.
The foot was high. The tackles were flying in. Someone was bound to get injured.
I don't understand why they're playing Premier League teams. They should be playing foreign teams. They've got then there's no needle between them, and it's still gonna make the money.
You play foreign teams. You play maybe lower league sides, but you're gonna play Arsenal in like at least for a couple of times in the next 9 months. Anyways, it's an at least couple of times.
Yeah, and it's just it just makes no sense because it's like, yeah, it's just coming up to the start of the Premier League season and they're going to be in the same league as you. So, there's a good chance that people are going to leave things on each other to try and get one out, mentally get one over on the opposition.
I'm not even gonna accuse anyone of trying to hurt other players in preseason, but there just is some kind of rivalry.
Hmm. It's
If you play, there is no friendly when Liverpool plays Man United. There is no friendly when Chelsea plays Spurs. Like it doesn't matter what you put in front of the game. Game as it's when the whistle closes. There is a lot of history and rivalry. It's just gonna boil over, and if it doesn't, it's gonna actually make everyone sad, isn't it?
hmm.
It should matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no need for these games anyway. Like I said, why not play foreign teams out there, and then it's exciting for the fans as well. They get to see two teams they don't normally get to see anyway.
Yeah, maybe have them play against Mrs. Inter Miami, for instance. You're not gonna see that again for another year.
Hmm.
This is the only opportunity you have.
Yeah,
Or maybe we play, let's say for just random teams, Shakhtar Donetsk.
yeah, or Borussia Dortmund or Real Madrid. Even these. If you want a big name, another big club, you can get people like Real Madrid, Barcelona out there. I mean, Barcelona would love the money.
They'd want the money.
Yeah, Palace.
just to top up the pot for Nico Williams.
Yeah, all those
Does it
kids.
remind you of the video?
I still can't believe that kid telling him to keep the change when he was buying stuff from the Barcelona club shop to put it towards Nico Williams' transfer. Fucking idiot.
I'm not. No, it's not idiocy. I'm not even gonna lie. If Barca set up a GoFundMe for Nico Williams' transfer, they'd probably raise the required money. And maybe that would be the only way they can actually afford buying him.
But they'd have to convince him to go there as well, though. Yeah.
No, they can probably convince him, but
Well,
they can't convince Bilbao to sell. They have a price tag, and Bilbao don't need the money.
yeah,
They can't spend it anyways.
they'd have to probably have to buy out his they pay the release clause. But the lad
Yeah,
himself
that's
on
what
the
I'm
right.
saying. Like they have to make Bilbao sell. They can't just
But
try and bully them like they do with other clubs.
But from what I've heard about the lad, is he's not interested in joining Barcelona. He's because they've done a lot for him and his family. Obviously, he's from a family of refugees, isn't he? And apparently, Bilbao did a lot for them. So, what I mean, they've looked after his family, so they feel grateful because I mean, all his brothers have played for him, don't they? Iñaki and that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying Nico would be desperate to leave. I'm just saying he might be open to leave, but can Barca afford? The simple answer is most definitely not, unless they do some dodgy dealings, which
Yeah,
is in their name, in their blood. But
yeah, they still need to reduce their wage bill as well, Barcelona, and Nico Williams isn't going to help them reduce their wage bill. Anyway, they can have Luis Diaz. I'm happy for him to go. To be honest, keep saying I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like me saying he's shit or anything, so get rid of him. I actually rate him as a player. I like him. Doesn't score enough goals, admittedly. I'd like him to score more. I think that's a weakness in his game. But he's beautiful to watch. He's so exciting and so much fun, and he works so hard for the team. But you just can't have a lad around who's trying to force his way over to Barcelona constantly through his dad. It's embarrassing, especially after the way Liverpool rallied round him when his family were kidnapped. I mean, the attitude is disgusting.
And also, he's good to watch and a good player, but he's not hard to replace
Well, exactly.
in terms of output.
Yeah. Nobody's irreplaceable anyway, but I'd rather have Hakpo starting there on the left anyway.
I'd say maybe a certain Egyptian guy is still irreplaceable for you guys. I'm not saying if
Yeah.
you sold him. I'm not saying if you sold him you'd regret as a team, but man for man is it's very hard to replace him. His output and his impact on the team.
Yeah, I'd say you got a point there, and I think Alison Becker as well. Because I don't see another goalkeeper anywhere near his level
No, no,
anywhere in the
there
world.
is like just like with Salah, there are one or two guys who you could like in a dream scenario hope to replace, but realistically, yeah, no. It may be Magic Mike, but
No,
I guess
I don't think he's as good
he's
as
not
Magic Mike.
attainable anyways.
They've got financial difficulties. All the Spanish, Italian teams anyway. So he would be attainable if somebody actually put the money on the table for him. But again, why would you want to replace? Why would you want him to replace Alison Becker when, good as he is, he's a massive downgrade? It's not even, there's not. It's not close. It isn't. It just isn't close. There isn't anybody out there who's close to Becker at the moment. Especially, I mean, you saw last season, Liverpool would have been nowhere near the top three without him. And I know he wasn't playing every game, but I was saying the games he played, he made such a huge difference. It's just too good. I just can't replace. Some players just can't replace like for like, and you just have to change your team around to suit, don't you? And I think him and Salah. I tell you what, I would like to see though. I'd like to see Van der Berg. Yeah, I'd like to see him get a run in the team. I like him a lot.
But hasn't he talked to himself to move?
No, his most recent comments have been he just wants to play football.
No, that should be the attitude. I agree with that, especially after impressing on a loan move away.
Yeah.
In a top league, you either want to get a look in at your parent club or want to get a clarity over your future. But
what I'm astonished about is how there's not been more interest in him. He was outstanding last season, and yet.
No, what I am amazed is he's not had a serious offer from one of the Bundesliga sides.
That's what I mean. There's no real interest, apart from PSV Eindhoven. It's like, what? I would have thought someone like Bayern would have been desperate to sign him.
Maybe not Bayern, but a Leipzig maybe.
I would have thought
maybe
Bayern,
not a Leverkusen.
They need a right back, centre back, right back, the player. You know what I mean? Right-sided defender. Desperately.
No, I'm saying like I can understand Bayern wanting someone who can guarantee them 30 league starts and try and wrestle the title away from Leverkusen. But if it's not Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, then I'd say like almost every other team, even Borussia Dortmund, they've lost Hummels. So there should be an opening. Leipzig should be kicking themselves for not having won a Bundesliga by now, because Bayern have opened the door for 2 seasons in a row, and they've not even been anywhere close. Stuttgart have lost. Stuttgart have lost the centre backs. Yeah, exactly. They should be trying to get someone in to replace. I'm really a bit perplexed at the lack of serious interest from him. having heard so many people heap praise on him for his swings at Mainz last season.
I watched a lot of footage of him of his play, like, and he looked really, really good. And even statistically, he came out really well as well. It's not like, if it's the he passes the eye test, but then his stats let it look shit, like sometimes happens. No, he passed the eye test, and his stats looked excellent as well. So he works for like the statistical and analyst side and the scouts. It's bizarre.
Surely it's not uh, indicative of financial issues at the Bundesliga size, no?
Maybe you've got a point. Maybe there just isn't the money there. Maybe they're thinking, Liverpool are asking too much, but I don't think they are. 20 million doesn't seem like a lot for me.
The
To me,
20 million asking price is different from just the minimum. That is what they would start. I assume Liverpool would, if it suits everyone, then Liverpool would probably set a lower fee with maybe a sell-on or a buyback or something like that.
or both even. Yeah, I'm sure they would. But like I hope anyway. I hope he stays and gets regular football and proves himself. I think Liverpool can. This team can be really exciting with a lot of young players playing. For me, I'd be looking to move on Konate. And I know most people don't agree with me on that, but like I think his injury problems are just ridiculous, and you can't rely on him.
Yeah, what good are you if you're either about to get injured or coming back from injury?
Exactly. I mean, all he ever does is he plays like 2, 3 games, and he can't even play like every. He can't play like if there's 2 games in a week, he can't play them. So what's the point in it? You need to have a solid partnership at the back. The centre back should never be rotated. If you're playing a proper back, if you're playing a solid back two, there's centre back pair, and they should never need rotating. You might give them the odd rest, like during the season, because you're playing against a weaker team and you think you can get away with it. But 99% of the games, it should be the same 2 players there all the time.
Well, you want your players to have a reputation for being fit, not as an injury-prone player.
Mm. It is bizarre how many injuries there's been in the Premier League lately. Last few seasons, the injuries are increasing. I'm convinced the fitness is not right. They're doing all this fitness training, but I'm convinced it's the wrong type of fitness because they don't do as much running. So they're not as fit. They haven't got the stamina they used to have. They're doing all this in games, all stuff with the ball. Brilliant. It's fantastic and it's much more fun for the players. But to get stamina, you need to put in hard yards. It's that simple, and they're not doing it anymore. They're not putting in anything like the distance they used to. They're not building up the stamina like they did in the past. And I think it's showing in the lack of fitness and all the injuries around the league. I mean, it was a huge amount last season. People are saying it's the number of games, but there always used to be 50, 60 games a season for teams in Europe. I don't see that. I do not see how it's increased. If anything, surely it's decreased because we no longer don't have all the replays in the cups. I can't see how teams are playing more games. I just don't believe it.
Well, I see Rashford went off with an injury as well.
Yeah, but apparently we
Don't know how serious, but
well, apparently he was going off. He was about to be substituted anyway, so it's hard to tell whether he went off with an injury or he went off because he was being substituted, and it just happened to coincide with him taking a knock at the same time. According to all the reports, he was walking around fine at the end of the game. Doing the meet and greet with the fans, signing autographs or whatever. So When do we play you? We play you in the next few days, don't we?
I don't know. I'm just hoping nobody gets injured.
Well, yeah, let's just say. I mean, how lunatic is that playing a Man United Liverpool game? Of all the teams you don't want to put together, for a friendly. It just can't be friendly. It can't. It's simple as that. You put those two teams together, it's not friendly. It's that simple.
If it's friendly, it's gonna be leaving the supporters shortchanged. No, you can't have it as a friendly. We're playing you on when is it? Sunday.
Ay. Phew. I mean, it's mad. Real Madrid Barcelona as well on the same fucking day. This is just it's just stupid. It's pointless. It also takes away from the actual league as well by playing all these what are in essence league games. Silly. Never used to be like
This is
that.
unnecessary. I just like. I know we can complain about it all we want, and it's not gonna change one iota. But come on, like, what do you gain from these anyways?
Money. That's what it's all about. There's
Yeah,
nothing
but
else to it.
you could gain a lot of money by having AC Milan play Man United or
Exactly.
Inter Milan versus Liverpool or Borussia Dortmund versus Arsenal. Like those games would also attract the crowds, no?
Exactly. I just don't understand. Or even against an MLS side, against a Premier
Uh,
League side, because they'd want to see how they get on against a Premier League side, see whether they can compete. Things like that. I don't see the need to play what is in essence a Premier League match abroad. It does feel like they're trying to slowly, like it's a bit like when Barcelona had the charity logo on the front of their shirts because they've never had shirt sponsorship. You remember, to get the fans used to having a logo on the front of the shirt. And then as soon as the fans had got used to the idea, they then sold it to someone. Remember? A few years ago? I don't know if you remember, that's probably before your time. But yeah, that just feels like that, like they're getting the fans used to games played abroad. For Premier League games, and they're going to be introducing the 39th game after all. That's what it feels like to me, anyway. I just hate the idea of, because it doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't. I get that the fans want to see, in other countries they want the chance to see the team and all that, and I've got no problem with them playing friendlies abroad and that. I think that's a great idea, but just not playing Premier League games abroad because it's the English Premier League for a reason. And it's you're losing the cachet, the whole thing about people wanting to go and visit Anfield and Old Trafford and that, if they can just go and watch the two teams there, they want to watch it. It's like it's the big game for Man United and Liverpool is against each other. But you don't have to go to Old Trafford or Anfield to watch it now, so it's kind of losing its importance a bit. Takes the gloss off it a little for me. Does that make sense?
It probably does. I'll be very honest with you. I'm watching the female Olympics final match, the one with all the uproar and Ferrari.
I don't know. Do you know what?
Oh, the one I just sent you about, like,
The boxing.
yeah, boxing one.
The men's box. Sorry, the women's.
I found the match.
I don't know. Isn't that just domestic abuse? That's what it looked like to me. I mean, for fuck's sake. What was it? Oh, last night, and this shows you how grown up I am. And a notification came through. There's obviously, I think it was a tennis match or whatever. I don't know, but it basically the notification had like a couple of names across the top, and then on the second line, because obviously it doesn't have much room for the notification, so it just said "Clash of the Tit." That was it. Obviously, the full thing was obviously Clash of the Titans. Obviously, you knew what it was, but it doesn't. But it didn't stop me giggling for about an hour afterwards after seeing it come
What
up.
happened to it? What happened to AN?
Well, it couldn't fit on the screen because the notification only had so much room to fit it. Oh man, I was hearing myself like so mature. I know, so mature. I know what you're thinking, but yeah, I'm grown up. Yeah. Clash of the
Nah, I will bring that. I
Tit.
will bring that boxing Olympic thing to football now. If you're half decent academic player, okay,
Yep.
uh, in men's football, and it looks like you're not gonna make it as a professional male footballer at the club. Then what's to stop the players suddenly out of nowhere start feeling like they're a woman trapped in a man's body?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know I know this argument is open for a lot of discussion. It's a can of worms better left unopened, but I'm gonna go there anyways. Who's gonna now tell them that they cannot participate in the women's team?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you've seen the difference in between them. I mean, look at that. The U.S. women's team, which was at the best in the world at one point, played against the Wrexham team. Remember in that summer tournament they have every year in America? And it's like it was a Wrexham veterans team. It was like old boys, like I think it was Lee Trundle and a few others, wasn't it, playing
Yeah,
for them and stuff
it
like
was a
that.
Lee Trundle one.
Yeah,
We was the Lee Trundle injury.
and they battered them something like 14-0, didn't they? Beat the US women's beat the US women's national team even. It's just like the best women's team in the world, and they absolutely smashed them. And they were just they were a veterans team as well. Not that the women's team was their full national team. The actual
The regular
one.
players.
Yeah, the ones that play now, not ones from like 20 years ago, like the Wrexham team was. I mean, they were old boys. Most of them were in their 40s and 50s, and they absolutely destroyed them. Even so, you can't put men and women in the same in sport like that. I mean, if you do, you've got to do it as in, you know what I mean. You can't put men in. You've got to either open it completely and everyone's just a free for all. Everyone just plays the same sport all together, and that's it. Just one. There's no gender at all, or you've got to be strict about it. Otherwise, it's not fair.
Now, are we like this open, this woke, and this liberal to suggest that men and female are physically the same and make them compete together when I'll give you a proper example. When chess, which is all in all just about your mental ability now to calculate, to play your moves and everything, if that one has a separate category for women away from men, then maybe it suggests there are sadly some differences biologically. When which organ you pee from probably does actually determine certain things about you now.
Hmm. The men and women are different, of course they are. Well, it's not just different body parts. There is, you're brought up differently as well. So,
But even your body systems, like just speaking scientifically, your hormones, your enzymes, your secretions,
exactly.
everything differs, no? And menopause is a thing for women. That also alters your hormonal balance. You have different Basically, the bodily productions and functions differ a little bit here, a little
Hmm.
bit there, but they do differ. If we were all the same, then maybe we would all be born as hermaphrodite, but we're not.
Yeah, or we're both part. But yeah, if you're that, or like you could swap at will during your lifetime, but like it's not. It takes a procedure, a surgical procedure to change you. So it's not
No, this is
natural as
lunacy.
such. But like to change that, not to play a sport, it's just cheating. That's what it is. You're not.
Especially a contact sport, you can't have them compete in the same contact sport if it's an event like a chess
Hmm.
or some gymnastic ones. I'm not saying that is fair and that that should happen, but if those are like different, uh, you just do your bit, the other one does their bit, whoever does better, then you can say all genders are same and everything. Okay, fine, but
Hmm.
it,
Yeah,
it
you
it
can't.
can't happen in a contact sport.
Especially not something like boxing.
Yeah, whether it's boxing, taekwondo, judo, football,
Hmm.
anything that involves bodily contact, it just shouldn't happen. No.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That was really bad. That.
Well, there's a thing called men's cycling and women's cycling. It's just pushing the cycle around the road. If that is
Yeah.
different, then how can you say punching each other is is and should be the same? You bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
I
It'll only end
like
when someone gets
like I
killed.
was ranting on the like I was ranting on our personal chat. I I think there is a huge chasm of decent biology teachers in the Western world.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're the answer to that job, though. To be fair,
No, but the fact that I could suggest myself and you didn't laugh your way out of the room means it is a serious issue, though.
I did laugh, but I just was laughing too hard to type "sopped off." You'd be fucking useless at it. That's why I didn't reply. But no, that seriously, there is a desperate need for somebody to just stand up and show a bit of common sense. I mean, before someone gets killed, because that's what will happen. It's dangerous enough when it's two men in there. Men have got badly hurt and killed in the ring already.
It's just, and I would probably say worse enough, sustained lifelong injuries.
Hmm. Gerald McClellan's a great advert to why you need to be careful, and you need to take a lot of care to ensure the health of these people getting in there and risking their lives for sport, for our entertainment, basically. Hmm. Anyway, yeah, we've got far away from football, so I think we should call it there. I think, mate. We've gone over the hour again. Fucking hell, we never would have managed to do one
Thanks
under an
to me.
hour.
Thanks to me. You were ready to end this. I don't know what 45 minutes ago.
that was 33 minutes it was, and I thought, yes, we're going to do it under an hour. Yeah, and then you mentioned the boxing and that. Yeah, okay. We didn't. Okay. Well, we tried. Sorry, everyone. We tried to do a short one this time, so maybe next time.
No, by our standards, this is just warm up.
Well, it is until you get started. You're just gonna go. You were like you were gonna start on a rant, then I thought, oh shit, we're gonna be a while. Yeah.
So, anyways, this should do it for us this week. See you next Thursday.
Yeah. See you next Thursday, everyone, and take care. And thank you for listening.